Hello guys, we are going to talk about a fantasy action film called Damsel from 2024. A team of knights led by the king decides to destroy the dragon in its lair. The king gives the order to attack, but the knights have no chance to resist the dragon's fiery breath. The remaining knights try to defend the king, but none of them survive. Several centuries later, in a distant country, Floria and Elodie are collecting firewood. They are the daughters of a local lord. Due to a severe cold snap, their people suffer from hunger and disease. One day, a nun comes to their palace and says that Elodie is suitable for her right, but Lord Bayfort must give his consent in a letter. The letter says that the queen has chosen Elodie to marry the prince. Bayfort wants what is best for his daughter, but this marriage will also help to fill their country with food. The two sisters set off on a ship, and a thick fog appears in front of them. To prevent the ship from getting lost, dragon-shaped lighthouses are installed everywhere. Everyone is amazed by their farms and luxurious castle. Elodie is taken to her private room. When everyone else has left, she eats some grapes and goes out to the balcony. She is spotted by another girl, who is noticed by the maids, and taken back to her room. Late at night, Elodie goes out onto the balcony. In the distance, she sees a passage to a cave, lit by a torch. A new day is dawning. Queen Isabel meets Elodie and shows her Prince Henry. Walking around the castle, Henry and Elodie find a common language, and she even manages to get the prince to take some horses and ride around the neighborhood. At this time, the queen is finishing a private conversation with Lord Bayfort. He looks very depressed, but tries to assure his wife that everything is fine. The wedding will take place for a very good reward. Elodie is interested in what she saw in the mountains. The prince explains that it is an ancient ceremony that is very important to the kingdom. At this time, Lady Bayfort tries to talk to the queen, but she obviously makes it clear that she is not interested in talking to her, and she even forgets Elodie's name. Lady Bayfort comes to the girl and calls the wedding a big mistake. She says that they may be kings, but that doesn't make them good people. She swears from the bottom of her heart that she wants the best for her daughter, but their conversation is interrupted by Lord Bayfort, who asks his wife to leave. A new day comes. After the wedding, she is taken to a carriage that is supposed to take Elodie to the temple to perform an ancient rite. She is surprised to see people in terrible masks. Isabel, dressed as a priest, gives Elodie a coin. Tonight, she will join the line of women who helped create the kingdom. When their ancestors first claimed the land, they learned that a monster lived there. The king gathered soldiers, but their blades could not destroy the monster, and all of them died except the king. The monster offered him a deal, his 3 daughters in exchange for the prosperity of the kingdom. The king adored his daughters, but he had to agree. Elodie and the prince perform a ritual and mix their blood. Now she is officially a princess. Isabel asks Elodie to throw a coin into the abyss. After that, Henry takes the girl in his arms, and although he is very sorry, he must fulfill his duty and throw the girl into the abyss. The roots of the trees cushion her fall, and she miraculously survives. While crying for help, a dragon notices her. Elodie tries to get out of the trap, but she is unable to do so. Objects belonging to other victims are scattered at the bottom of the abyss. Firebirds fly out of the cave. Elodie notices the dragon's big paw and tries to run away, but the dragon quickly finds his victim and asks her name. He explains that people have to pay tribute. The girl is distinguished by the smell of royalty. Elodie suddenly realizes why they mixed the blood. The dragon begins to exhale flames, and Elodie hides in a remote part of the cave, where the body of the girl she saw from her balcony lies. During her escape, Elodie injures her leg. She makes a small lamp out of the gift and goes to the dark part of the dungeon, but suddenly falls down and her lamp goes out. With a lot of effort, she comes out into a bright cave. After a little rest, she jumps over the chasm and her dress gets caught on the stones. Light slugs crawl along the walls of the cave, and Elodie makes a lamp out of them. Suddenly, a dragon breaks through the ceiling, and Elodie successfully hides. She finds the messages left by the other girls. It turns out that the slugs are magical, and they can easily heal all wounds. With the help of the map, Elodie finds the path that should lead her to salvation. There is only one big problem. The exit is covered with sharp crystals. There is a crown on the ground, and Elodie uses it to get to the surface. Unfortunately, it turns out that the exit is a cliff. However, the castle is very clearly visible from here. Time passes, and she notices people on horseback. The girl tries to call for help, but her cries are interrupted by a dragon, who is about to destroy the girl. Suddenly, someone starts calling Elodie's name, and the dragon flies away. It turns out that her father has hired a guide and is going to save his daughter. Elodie finds the dragon's eggs, which were destroyed by the first king. This is why the dragon demands 3 sacrifices every year. The dragon attacks Bayford's team and kills 2 soldiers. The dragon asks Bayford to call his daughter, otherwise he will take his life. He tells him that the girl is still alive and hiding somewhere here. The Lord chooses a moment to apologize to his daughter for trying to exchange her life for the happiness of the people, and asks her to hide from the dragon. The dragon then mortally wounds the man. When the dragon flies away, Elodie approaches her father, and he explains to his daughter about the place where he left the ropes. She has a chance to be saved. The dragon notices the girl, but does not hit her with fire, so Elodie manages to climb to the surface. The whole mountain is illuminated by bright flames, and Isabelle realizes that the girl has managed to survive. She orders her sister to be kidnapped. A new day comes, and the mother manages to find Elodie. She learns that her sister has been taken away and promises to save Floria. The prince tries to come to the girl's defense, but Isabelle calls him a weakling and mixes the blood herself. When Elodie arrives at the temple, all the people have disappeared. Hearing her sister's screams, she throws down the rope and climbs down, but the dragon has already captured its victim. This time, she easily jumps over the cliff. Elodie studies the map and finds out where the dragon's lair is. She takes the magical creatures and smears them on her skin to remove the human odor. Elodie makes a rope out of her hair to hold her helmet filled with coals. When all the ashes are poured out, the armor falls and attracts the attention of the dragon. Elodie uses this moment to wake up her sister. However, the dragon quickly realized that he was deceived. Elodie decides to tell the truth about the royal family's ritual and that they have been passing off other people's girls as the king's daughters all along. But the dragon does not believe her and breathes fire at Elodie. She falls into the lake and puts out the flames. The battle begins. Elodie pierces the dragon's eyes and paw. She notices a stream of air, and when she comes close to the girl, the dragon exhales flames that fly back to the dragon. The monster can no longer move, and Elodie shows him the wound that connects her and the king with the same blood. All this time, the dragon has been killing innocent people, just like the first king. But the dragon still has a chance for revenge. Elodie heals the dragon with the help of magic slugs. Today, another wedding is taking place in the castle, and Elodie becomes an uninvited guest. She asks the bride to run away. Isabella does not understand why they should be afraid of the girl. Elodie replies that they should not be afraid of her, but of the dragon that will destroy their family. Now this land will belong to Elodie's family, and the dragon will protect them for the rest of their lives. And this is the end of the movie.